Y'all call me crazy, but I seriously thought the only way to earn more money was to manage people. So, one thing I realized was that I had kind of boxed myself into this way of thinking that also limited my income. Sound familiar? I know it does because some of you have been doing the same thing. And just in case we haven't met, I'm Christina. I bring my 15 years of experience in talent acquisition and HR to this platform. And if this is something that you want to see more of, certainly go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. So let's talk. So I was you. I was stuck in this story that in order to uh, earn more money, I needed to manage people, and I had no desire whatsoever to manage people. Now, have I done that in my career? Yes. Um, but I had no desire to do it again. And this is where I got stuck, right? It wasn't reality, it was a story I kept telling myself that wasn't based in fact, that wasn't based on research, right? Like it was my narrative. I was there, and I know so many of you are there. I'm talking to many of you on a regular basis, either by way of working with me or on these social media platforms. And y'all are like, yeah, Christina, like I haven't even signed up for your emails because I don't earn anywhere near six figures. To which I say, do you want to? And then it's kind of like, well, yeah, but that's not realistic because, and then there's the story, right? So I think we all have this narrative in different areas of our lives that keeps us stuck from getting to the next level we desire. So when I'm coaching clients, I'm like, yeah, I was you. Like I'm so aware of what this feels like. And trust me when I tell you, there's no judgment that comes from this side of the camera because I get it. I get it. These stories come from somewhere, by the way. These stories come from somewhere, and we can peel back layers on that another day. But I want you to start thinking about what story you're telling yourself that's keeping you from increasing your income. And then we can talk about how to get unstuck. So maybe for you, the narrative, right? The story that you're telling yourself has nothing to do with managing people. You're like, no, Christina, I would love to manage people. Maybe for you, it's more of what I hear far too often, and that you need a degree to earn six figures. Maybe it's the other narrative that you need to have experience working from home in order to get an opportunity these days working remote. Uh, and yeah, none of that, I'm telling you, none of that is true. None of it is true. And I'm saying that from the perspective of not just having landed opportunities over the years. Um, Understand, I haven't been with the same company for 15 years. I've been around and I had a whole career before this one. And also, I've been on the hiring side of the table. I've been in the rooms where we're making these hiring decisions. And so I'm here to tell you that the narrative just it's not accurate. It's not accurate. And I know that it's going to take me saying that multiple times. I know in addition to that, it's going to take you actually seeing job descriptions for roles that interest you multiple times and seeing that there's a chance they don't require a degree. Now, I don't know what field you're in. And of course, there will be folks watching this now who are in lanes that will absolutely require a degree. No, you're not going to become a nurse without a degree, right? There's some paths that require that. No, you're not, at least from what I can tell in the foreseeable future, going to be able to get a job as an engineer without a degree in engineering, right? I've hired engineers for quite some time. Um, yeah, it's probably not going to happen. I don't see that requirement ceasing to exist anytime soon. But the point is, depending on who you are, in your selected industry, your selected career path, your specific journey, your experience, there is a chance that the opportunity you seek, the six-figure opportunity you seek, the six-figure remote opportunity you seek will not require the degree, will not require the people management experience, or will not be attached to a role that requires people management. It will not require that you have experience working from home. And so when I share the weekly remote jobs email every single week, I'm thinking about that, right? And what I want you all to start doing is carving out the time to say, you know what, let me read through this job description. The title intrigues me. Let me read through the job description. This is part of the research I encourage my clients to do. What's the market calling for? Does this job require a degree? No. So maybe I can get a job doing what I do now, earning six figures without a degree. And along the lines of doing what you do now, oh my gosh, I'm chuckling, but it's not funny. So this has happened a couple of times. I'm thinking about one in particular where I've had a conversation with a client, and y'all, she didn't believe that she could get a role earning six figures working from home. And I'm like, oh, but you can. And I say this as someone who for years has pulled together these lists of remote opportunities. Yeah, you can. And I'm telling you, I've seen it. So here's exhibit A, right? Like we're in court. Here's exhibit A. Here's exhibit B. And she's like, wait a minute. This is exactly what I do now, Christina. I said, I know. I know it's exactly what you do now. And then she got pissed, literally pissed, because the salary range was significantly more than where she is now. And it was that type of frustration, and I got to be careful with that because it will lead to someone resigning without another opportunity because now they're livid. But it led to her eventually leaving the organization. And I'm like, yeah, because you're underpaid. And here's the thing, not every organization can afford to compensate their talent, their team, their humans the same way every other. Like, not every budget is the same. But I want you to look at the competitor of your current organization, multiple competitors. What's their hiring range? What's their salary range? Start looking at organizations that have similar roles, maybe in other industries. What are they paying? Start doing the research because I want you to be super empowered to make this next step in your career. Let me tell you how I increased my own income, right? Research, conversations, upskilling, and certification. For me, those were the keys. And they didn't happen by chance, right? It was very strategic on my part. Research, and this is what I want you to do. Just start reading job descriptions, either that align with what you're doing now or those that look more like what you'd like to do next in your career. Start reading those. Again, I'm sending opportunities every week for six-figure remote jobs. Start reviewing those job descriptions. That's one. The other thing I want you to think about is having conversations with people in the roles that you aim to land. So that could look different. They may not be in those exact roles, but start having those conversations whenever possible. And we can talk through what that looks like. As a matter of fact, I outline some actual language to use in a playbook I created specific to networking, and I'll pop that in the description below. But that's a resource that you can leverage. The other thing for me has been upskilling. So I challenge you as you're looking at the job descriptions, right, doing that research, is there a gap in skills and how do you plan to gain those additional skills? Is it something like Coursera or LinkedIn Learning or HubSpot or some other platform or some other means, community college, right? Um, is there a way for you to gain those skills to close the gap between what you have and what that organization is looking for? And the fourth thing that I want you to start looking at would be certifications and designations. So, are there specific certifications or designations in your field that would position you to better compete for the type of role you are looking for? That, like knowing that, comes from research. And I think, yeah, I think sometimes we go cart before the horse when it comes to the job search, right? Instead of the strategic approach to the next steps in our career journey, it's the let me find somebody to update my resume, or it's the who's hiring, right? Who's hiring for what? I can't tell you how many times I see the very generic who's hiring for six-figure remote jobs. And I want us to really be more intentional about our approach to how we are going to move forward in our career. Um, Super intentional. And the more we know, the more independent research we do, the better able we are to, or the more able we are to articulate to someone else when we are expecting their support with our job search. In case you all don't know, I am the single mother of two amazing girls who are now older. They're not grown, maybe grownish. The single mom of two girls, and what nudged me to push even harder to figure this out, was a desire to travel, right? Was a desire not just for the stamps and the passport, but for the memories. Um, I think it was one trip I took to Mexico. Really, true story. I took a trip to Mexico, and I get back and I'm like, wow, I want to do more of that. But next time I want to do it with my daughters. And so it was that level of intention that kept me going. And I eventually took both of my daughters and my mom, by the way, to Mexico. I've done the work, right? I've been super intentional about increasing my income, and we are absolutely going to Mexico. The four of us, we're going. And so, yeah, I want you all to understand that you have options, that possibilities exist, that you are not stuck, and that even if you take one calculated step today, right? With or without my support, even if you take one calculated step today and then the next calculated step tomorrow, and so forth and so on, that you will get to living the life you desire. Maybe it's the bills on auto pay. Maybe you have no desire to get in a plane and go anywhere. Maybe it's just the ability to cover the education cost for your child. Oh my gosh, the cost of education. Another story for another day. Um, Maybe it's to help your aging parents, right? Whatever it is for you, I really do want you to start thinking about what those calculated steps will be today and then tomorrow, and map that out, right? Map it out. I strongly recommend support, but if you're not there yet, at least start mapping those steps out. So listen, I hope this resonates. I really do. I really do. If it did, go ahead and hit that like button. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Make sure we remain connected. Hit that follow button. I hope you are having a fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.